So, our hands, to get deeper into this topic, we have right now the psychologist Ivana Kamilia to offer her insight. Hello, Ivana. Where are you?
Hello.
Oh, hi,
I'm
there you
here.
are. Thank you
Hello.
for joining once
Hi,
again to our new show.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, Ivana, the first thing first, how do we as parents, or probably Ahir and Alia, know that they might be toxic to the children?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we're simply unaware that we are mistreating our children.
What are the characteristics?
Yes.
Okay. We are a human being, including parents. Every kid make mistake. Every parents can make mistakes too. Yell too much or to do potentially damaging things to their kids, even unintentionally. But their impulse is to do better and make things right. Okay, and if we toxic parents, to talk about what is the toxic parents? Toxic parent is the parent give chill. They're more self-centered than other-centered, than child-centered. Parents sometimes don't think about their children needs or feelings. They can do physical abuse, verbal abuse, or emotional abuse, and lack of appreciation. The too much control that invades children privacy, not allow to child to make their own decision, and blaming the children, manipulation, inability to respect their boundaries, and they will apologize or even admit that what they are doing is wrong. Okay.
So sometimes the kids, they cannot really tell whether their parents are toxic when they're kids, right? And then they understand it differently. So they misunderstood the behavior of the parents. So in the long run, what is the impact of this toxic parenting?
The impact for the children, right?
Yes.
Okay. Impact for the children, it's like a short-term effect and the long-term effect. For the short term, they can be more anxious or being feeling trapped. And significant impact on individual feeling of self-worth. And for the future impact, as we know that parent is a child introduction to the world.
Yes.
So the impact is the children future relationship. And most of them, a child with a toxic parents tend to say yes to things. It is because there's no boundaries. The boundaries is not existent.
Right. So, yeah. The next following question is me. But I as parent, I always, let's say, I claim that I already aware that I shouldn't be a toxic parent. However, it's a really hard situation when you are, in front of your children's situation, and then they did many things, for example, that can trigger the anger of us as the parents. So the question is, how can we avoid for being toxic parenting? For example, by controlling our emotion.
Okay, first you can listen, acknowledge, listen sincerely to the kids, what their emotion, what their experience, how they feel. Don't minimize or interrupt what their emotion or their mind. Take notice of what they are saying. And if you know that, am I toxic? Am I a bad parent? They are not a bad parent. The toxic is not the people. You are not toxic people, but you are acting toxic. And it is your power to change if you're commit to it. So you want to change, you can act, talk to them, accept you need to help, you can have an advice from maybe family, friends, mentor, or maybe a professional help, and be willing to change. Your relationship with your children will not improve unless you commit to change your behavior.
What Ivana said, I would agree about acknowledging the feelings of your children, because sometimes being raised by boomer parents, boomer Asian parents, all over the Eastern Hemisphere, we would probably like, no, this is actually for your own good and stuff like that, without actually the parents being able to hear what is actually going on inside our hearts,
Sometimes
our
they don't
mind.
even give any reason.
Exactly.
They just say, okay, this is the order, you do it.
That is actually the problem with us here in Asia. And probably this is going to be a question, you know, in Asia. How should children deal with toxic parents? We cannot change our parents.
Okay, we cannot change our parents. For children, you can setting your clear boundaries. A boundaries is simply an invisible line that you can set yourself, that you do not allow someone to cross the boundaries. This is maybe your physical, emotional, gitu. You can set the boundaries with your family, with your parents, and the second, you can healing yourself. You can helpful to write your feelings, maybe journaling, like journaling. You can,
Journaling.
yeah, in journaling, or maybe you can talk with the trusted family member, maybe your sister, maybe your brother, or maybe your friends.
I see. So, I mean, for parents, sometimes it's difficult when you want to give some kind of freedom, but not an uncontrolled freedom to your kids. So if you could give us any tip, how can parents develop a healthy trust system within the family, especially with the kids?
Okay, we know that building trust will help your children to carry after mistake was made too much damage. So the parents is a guardian for children. A guardian can protect, still has control, but not over control.
Yeah.
Okay, and the second, you don't break promise, so the children can trust yourself, show mutual respect between children and parents, and be honest to your child, what lies, tell a lie, and the last is listen to your child. This is the largest way to build trust to your children. Maybe I can something that establish boundaries and consistency is the important things to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, so we are still talking about a healthy trust system within the family. So how does this benefit the children?
The benefit of the children that can trust the family is, of course, your children can feeling open and comfortable to talk about the difficult things, and your children can demonstrating positive, trusty behaviors in other aspects of their life. And the third, you can building a relationship with your child that goes beyond a parent-child disciplinary relationship and strengthening your bond for years to come.
I see.
Interesting.
So trust, I agree. Trust is very important. Trust is not given; it is earned.
Yes.
And is it possible for this trust system to actually disadvantage the children? If that's the case, can it be considered a form of toxic parenting as well?
Okay, anything that is excessive is not good. Parent with no trust can be parent. On the other side, over-trust parent can be a toxic parent too.
Yeah.
For example, over-trust parent may lead to lose control.
Yeah.
But we don't forget that as a parent, you are the guardian. A guardian still have their own control, but not lose the control.
So,
Wow, it's it's very interesting because many people maybe they don't realize what they're doing is actually toxic to their children, right? And you just have to listen to your kids. Sometimes, you know, Ivana, when I was like, my kids were still small, sometimes they're so clingy. They pull your clothes and all that, and you were doing some chores or things like that, and then you got distracted, right? And instantly I was thinking, okay, can you stop that? But then what I was supposed to do was like, actually feel it and listen to the kids, what's happening. Maybe she is having some problems,
problems.
within their own self. Anyway, thank you so much for sharing all the tips with us and enlightening us, especially with this toxic parenting. Hopefully, all of us are going to be good parents. And
Cross our
Yeah.
fingers till it
Cross our fingers.
hurts.
Thank you so much. Take
Amen.
care, Ivana.
Thank you.
It is very difficult to be
Yeah.
parents.